I'm doing this.
Let's record it while we're doing this, Alan. We got to keep moving, keep going, guys. Another big week.
We can pretend we know what we're talking about.
That's right. We're going to pretend.
That's what we always do.
We're getting Andy to change his name. So any of you who watch this on YouTube, you always wonder, what do we look like? You can go to YouTube and see it. You can also go to the website.
We should give a warning.
And tell them
not worth the effort.
It is definitely worth the effort, Mr. Harris, wearing your hat and checking things out. So here it is, another week, another very, 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 very busy week for Chris. It started with hosting the Atlanta Remodeling Awards and giving my end-of-year presidential NARI address.
You know, can we just go one episode without you referring to yourself as the president of NARI?
Guess what, Alan? What? I have, as of today, I am done with my term as president, and now I'm just chairman of the board.
Was it a coup? Did they oust you?
I ousted myself. I ousted myself before I started. I told them I would do it for a year. Usually we do them for 2. But I was able to do some really cool things. I made some really positive, effectual changes. We started a women in construction group that meets quarterly. 80 women has already joined.
Wow.
We reconfigured education offerings for all of people in Atlanta for remodeling to get your CEUs as general contractors or just to learn how to run a better business. We also have started a new fundraising effort where we're going to go shoot shit. It's called the Southern Shootout. We're doing a clay pigeon. It's a round-robin clay pigeon shooting event where you go station by station like golf.
It's like playing golf with guns.
With guns.
Yeah, I love that.
So we did that. I was able to put in Rob Stephenson, who came on the podcast. He is our membership committee chair and on the board. And he did tell me, because I asked, is why he answered and asked and got involved in the board. So a lot of really positive things happened this year, and I'm really excited.
Sounds like you're running for re-election.
So I am running for chairman of the board so I can get back to doing this, man, because I love the podcast. But after I did that, Alan, what did I do next? I went and drove 5 hours to go watch my 6'11" friend's son. So he's 6'11", the son, plays for New Jersey Institute of Technology, Division I basketball, played against High Point. Super cool. If you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you'll see what a midget looks like. I am 6'2", and those guys dwarfed me. And it was awesome. And then I came back, and then I went to watch the Falcons absolutely get crushed by the Seahawks. But I got the amazing food, tailgate, do the whole thing. Had my last board meeting today, and here we are podcasting again, talking with you guys. Man,
you've got your NPR voice going. You used a highfalutin word earlier, sanguine.
I am very sanguine today, Alan, because today has been one of those firefighting, getting everything done. Oh yeah. Did I mention I sold my slumlord house up in Athens on Monday?
Did you get rid of the squatter?
I did get rid of the squatter that was on one of the episodes. And now the house is out of my name, and I am thrilled to no longer be a slumlord. I got my son through that, and now I have the proceeds from that's going to fund the rest of his law world. So I am thrilled.
Housed your son in a slum is what I just heard.
I am a slumlord. I identify as a slumlord. How about that? Whenever you walk up to somebody and go, I'm sorry about the way the house looks. I'm usually not this, and you want to think to yourself, hoarder? No, I'm not that at all. But we got another great one. A lot of great lessons. I talked about NARI and all those things. But burning up some time, and now we've got Andy Seeley from CEO Creatively Disruptive on because he changed his profile on Zoom. Andy, welcome to the show. Can't wait to start talking a little bit more about your stuff and what you do. Why don't you introduce yourself to the Small Business Safari Adventure Team?
Yes, so my name is Andy Seeley. I am the CEO of Creatively Disruptive, and we are a small business marketing firm that's been in business for since 2015. So we're pushing into our 11th year next year. Started out doing websites and all the kind of very regular stuff, and we figured maybe it would be a good idea to figure out how to send people to websites. And then it was, now that people are going to websites, how do we figure out how to turn them into customers and blah, blah, blah. To this day, we're actually doing everything from digital marketing for clients, helping them plan their revenue growth. There's business consultancy, the whole 9 yards at this point. Because, if you do one piece, but you're missing another piece, oftentimes the whole thing doesn't work. And we've, without trying to be everything to everybody, we are trying to be a lot of things that matter to a few people, right? And
You've niched down quite a bit. I mean, it's a very specific niche that you appeal to.
Yeah, we've got three brands. One is Creatively Disruptive, one which is the main company. One is Ashworth Strategy, which is an e-commerce focused company. And the other is High Level Thinkers, which is a kind of a home services type company that we've worked with local banks, renovation companies, roofing companies, anything local that wants business. Creatively Disruptive is very family focused, family activity center type businesses, and Ashworth focuses on family focused e-com. So anything that a mum or dad would want to buy in a household online, that's what Ashworth Strategy is definitely focusing on. So it's the common thread is family focus and home, and all the different things around that. But yeah.
But you went on this journey of niching down, though. You started out probably casting a wide net, similar to like I did,
Yeah.
which was I would do anything to anybody at any time when I first started
For
my
any
business.
amount of money.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yep.
Was the niching a strategy that you had to implement over time, or was this something that just started to evolve?
Being everything to everybody means you're nothing to anyone as well. And that's what we really found was
Well said.
trying to do everything for everybody meant that no one really cared about you. So, and it was very hard to get anybody to care about you, right? So, when we first started, probably the first 2 years, we were unniched, totally unniched, and we had e-commerce brands, we had activity brands, we had everything, like literally everything. And the problem with that, so if anybody is starting a small business and they're interviewing agencies, if you're interviewing marketing agencies, which I highly recommend, most small businesses should get very, very focused on how to get a nice steady stream of clients coming through the door. And an agency, a good one, is a really good help for that. But when you're interviewing those agencies, if they're serving everybody, what they're going to do when you hire them is they're going to learn on the job for probably about 6 months to try to figure out how to make it work for you. And that 6 months might cost you, $10,000 to $20,000, and you might not get a lot. They might luck out, and you might get something, and then they'll get, if they're decent, they know what they're doing. They'll learn. They'll get better after that 6 months, and then but within a year they'll actually be, delivering for you. But you've spent $20,000 to $40,000 on them learning how to look after you.
So you obviously
That is such a great gold nugget.
Yeah.
For anybody listening.
Say it again.
Yeah, you need to but you need to interview a marketing agency and make sure that they have experience in exactly what you do, because otherwise you're paying them to learn how to market what you do.
Yep. And companies would do that in the first 2 years that we were doing business. If I'm honest with you, companies were doing that. We worked hard, and we weren't lazy about it. We were really working at it, testing and trialing and doing things. And I think we maybe got it under 6 months, but if I'm honest, there was months of work where we were trying to figure it out, right? And it wasn't that we weren't good at knowing how the platforms worked, knowing how the different, digital, tools and things that we use worked. The problem was knowing, Chris, your customer base and how they worked and what you needed and what was the short end of the stick, and then turning that into ads that actually resonated and finding the audiences. And it all takes testing, right? And a good agency will test micro testing. It's like little small steps, because if you do big, huge, wide steps, you don't know what was the thing that was magic, right? You want to do little tests. You go, oh, when I did this, things jumped by 50%. That must be an important thing. I'll put that on the toolbar or the checklist of things that we must do. And that's why you really need to be working with niched businesses. It's a little bit like, if I hire a handyman to build my pool, is he going to do the best job? Is he going to be figuring it out? Maybe he's never built a pool before. Maybe he's got enough brains to know how to do it, but it might take him 3 times as long, might cost 3 times as much, and there might be some mistakes made along the way. Or do I just hire a pool company to build my pool? Right?
Exactly right. So as you, that's now we talked about that gold nugget, I want to drill into it a little bit. You found this out over time, started to develop it. Do you when you come and sit with somebody, are you interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, on a couple of levels actually. So we'll interview a client to see if we feel confident that we can help them. If you look on our Google reviews and our Facebook reviews, we're really highly rated. Very few agencies will actually put themselves out there, right? Very few agencies. If you look at most agencies, you won't be able to find them on Google or Facebook or Instagram or wherever. You won't be able to see any reviews because they haven't allowed it to happen. They haven't put it out there. The reason for it is oftentimes, I actually think that there's tens of thousands of agencies out there. 95% of them one-man bands with a couple of contractors, and they're not very good. And that's why a lot of people, especially small business owners, tend to get screwed over and they get burnt out and they lose their confidence in the agency industry. There's 5% of us, maybe a little bit less than that, that really do know what they're doing. They study it. They've been working at it. They've been in it. They're partners with the platforms. They've got a lot of good things that are going on across the board. Those are the guys that you need to be working with. And you need, as an agency owner, I want my team to figure out, is this somebody that we know that we're going to help, right? Because we've got enough clients that we don't have to bring you on. If I'm looking at you, Chris, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't see how we're going to make this work. I don't see how this is going to be good for him or me. We'll just say, hey, here's some things that we recommend. But we're probably not a good fit. And it sounds a little bit like a sales pitch, but we've got 120 clients, monthly paying clients. We're doing pretty well. Could we do better? Yes. Am I happy where we're at? No, I want to always do better. When I hit the goals, I always want the next one and the next one and the next one.
Amen, business owner. We all say it.
Andy, let me ask
you're never happy, right, Chris? It's always the next thing.
Andy, let me ask you this, because you bring up such an important thing, and for a lot of our listeners, they're solopreneurs, they're small business owners, and they need to hire somebody to help them scale and help them grow. And it's such a huge decision, but maybe they don't have experience in doing that. So yeah. How do they find the 5%? How do they eliminate the 95% on the interview?
Well, I think the thing kind of along the lines of what we're talking about. So interview them and speak openly. Don't hold back. Don't be like the walls up, because you can choose to work with them or not. Give them the information that you want. If they do something with it and you get the sense that they're actually trying to help you on the call, that there's actually some real discussion going on about your business and learning about your business. If they're learning about your business, especially in the first call, at least half of it is trying to find out about you and what you're needing and what you need to have success. The other thing is, if they do that, that's a good sign. If they are niched, that's a good sign. And if they come back with multiple options, so they put some thought into what you need as a business owner, right? Now we've got part of our business where it's much more menu based because we know it so well, right? So the kids activity, kind of family activity business, we know it so well. We kind of know exactly what to plug into a business. But then on the e-com and the home services, it can be a little bit custom. So we want to have a nice conversation with the client to actually find out, where they're at, what they're doing. If that agency spends their whole time selling themselves to you, that's a really bad sign, right? So, the reality is, you want your agency to want to know about you. And if they aren't that interested, they just want to talk about themselves, you really just want to, you probably want to move on. It's probably not the right one. And if, the other thing is look at their ratings, look at their reviews, see what the reviews are saying. Now, we've got some bad reviews on ours. We got a couple of people that weren't happy with what we've done.
Hey, you haven't been in business if you don't have those. Again, you talk about the value of reviews. You don't want to make sure you got people who are not planning them. Oh, I found my top 60 people and I've had them do it. No, you want to have I mean, here I am with a handyman company. I've got over 1,350 reviews already. Already 17 years, but but still higher.
Already.
You're right. You want to have a couple that, show off, and then they want to see how you responded to it, because
Right.
I think that's another great
I don't
question.
trust it if they're all perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
I think that's part of the interview process as well. You didn't say it, but I think one of the questions everybody should ask is, give me an example of a client that didn't work out. Tell me why.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have one, then you haven't been trying.
Or if you've prepped for the meeting, maybe go in and have a look at the reviews and pick out a good one and pick out a bad one and ask about it.
You bet.
Now, sometimes, depending on the size of the agency, to be honest, I've got a friend who owns quite a large agency, much larger than us, and he probably doesn't even know. Like his sales team might not even know some of the reviews that are on there. But in my mind, my team does. My team knows all of the reviews are on there. And I make it a thing, like not just my sales team, but my client services team. They know it's all the reviews that are on there. My production team, they know all the reviews, because when we get good ones and bad ones, we've actually, in our Slack system, which is our internal communication system, we celebrate the wins and we share it all. So all of the team reads them. We share it in our meetings. And when we have a bad one, we dissect it and we go, okay, what went wrong here? Is it that the client is crazy, which sometimes you get a crazy client, or is there some legitimate stuff here that we need to get better at? And let's get into that and try and find what's going on. So my team actually does know what the reviews are and what's gone on. So asking those kind of questions as an agency is critical to get a sense of, are they just trying to sell you, or are they trying to help you? We have a really strong philosophy of helping small business owners. I'm a small business owner. I've got family members who are small business owners. Burning $10,000 for a lot of small business owners is just unthinkable. You just, no, that $10,000 might put you in a bad position, especially if you're starting out. You don't want to be wasting money like that. You don't have that excess cash to just be blowing away. And you want to have a partner, because it's a little bit like hiring an employee, right? I always say to our clients when they come on board, because I usually have a meeting with a new client that comes on board just to tell them my story and what I believe in. I always tell them, treat us like we're one of your staff. That means don't abuse us because we're a vendor, right? Treat us like one of your staff. If you abuse your staff all the time, we'll probably quit, like your staff member will. But treat us like your staff member, and we will work with you.
Were you in my last marketing meeting that I had today? Because like I said, it's been one thing after another, and he and I'm in a number of print things. But anyway, you're right. You want to treat them like that. Right. I want to hear a story of a company where you came in, you helped them, and what did you do? Let's talk some nuts and bolts of some of the stuff you guys deliver. Do you have what it takes to start your own business? Are you tired of the 9-to-5 corporate job and ready to make that leap into entrepreneurship? Then you need to check out From the Zoo to the Wild, the new book by successful entrepreneur Chris Lalamia. This book is a unique perspective on the journey into the wild world of home services and delivering excellence in service while working in customers' homes. Lalamia shares his path to success in this industry, including proven customer relationship strategies, award-winning customer experience processes, and a unique approach to training a team of service technicians to perform at the highest levels. Whether you're a small business trying to scale or a franchise operation, From the Zoo to the Wild will give you the mindset, habits, leadership style, and customer-oriented processes to succeed as a small business owner in the home services space. So if you're ready to take control of your future, get your copy of From the Zoo to the Wild today, available on Amazon.
Trying to find. Well, let's talk about the very first client that we ever had, which was actually a gymnastics gym. So the very first client that we ever got, which was in 2015, still with us today, was a little gymnastics gym made up of two sisters in Chicago, LaGrange in Chicago. Or I'll even give their name. It's Gemini Gymnastics. If anybody wants to reach out to Chris, she's the owner. She'll talk to you about us, I'm sure. And they were probably doing about $500,000 a year of revenue. And they couldn't ever get over it. She was only paying herself, and her sister was getting paid $1,500 a month. That's what they were earning. They'd been in business for 8 years, and they hadn't been able to figure how to get further than that. Thankfully for them, they had two husbands that had jobs. The husbands didn't take their gym very seriously or their business very seriously. It was like the hobby business. Fast forward to today, I'll give the result, and then I'll fill in the middle. So fast forward to today, they're doing 2.8 million. She's earning about 350,000, and so is her sister. So they're making about $700,000 profit. Their husbands can choose to work or not now. So the husbands are the ones being taken care of. And here's the funny thing. Sometimes, like when you talk, if anybody reaches out to Chris, and the millions of viewers that you have, Chris, if Chris Campbell gets reached out to, she'll probably say that the most critical thing was not our marketing that made the change. It was some of the consultancy that we did, and what they were doing, which was a major problem that we had to change in their business to actually get them to where they needed to be, was every June they would drop every single member of their gym. So that, because they'd close for 3 weeks and clean up the gym, repaint it, do all the things that they wanted to do, and have a little bit of a break. And I convinced them to maybe not have that 3-week break. If you want to have a break, keep the kids in. Don't ever have a system where you're asking the clients to opt in. You're telling them, if you want to leave, you've got to opt out yourself. And just that fact, instead of starting in July, they were starting from zero. Typically, they were starting from 500, right? So instead of starting from zero every July, they started at 500, and then they'd go around, and maybe they grew to 600, and now, and instead of dropping anybody, they just started from 600 again. And that might seem like a very simple, you go, well, duh, that seems pretty normal, but it's amazing how many small business owners operate because they think that's the best way to go, and that is a key thing that's hindering them from growth, right? So that was 10 years ago. So now they're at about 1,000 kids, and one of the other things that they were doing was that they were undercharging, which is something across all industries and all niches I see a lot of. I see a lot of small business owners really trying to keep their costs down, that they charge their customers, instead of going, okay, how do I bring value and charge as much as I possibly can? So we got her through that. Some of that was because she had this constant stream, and this is the true value of finding a really good agency. She had a constant stream of incoming inquiries wanting to join the gym, because we were able to build that for her. And that gave her the confidence to start raising prices. So she went from $80 a month. Now she's at $220. And that's where a lot of her revenue growth has come, is from.
And this is a gymnastics.
Just a simple gymnastics gym. Yep.
So tell me how you find a way to target the parents of these gymnasts. I mean, that's what you're looking for, right?
Right.
So how did you do A/B testing? How did you do your micro testing? And which platforms did you find worked?
Well, I mean, to this day, the best platform for targeting still is Facebook or Meta, right? Facebook and Instagram. And you can target down to the point that we can, and it's anything. It could be homeowners, could be, homeowners in certain areas. It could be, mums of kids between these age groups and that age groups. And a lot of it is based on the beauty of Facebook. Everybody thinks, oh, Facebook gets all of my data and shares it with everyone. They don't actually. What they do is they go, Chris likes to look at these websites. Chris interacts with these things on Facebook and Instagram.
You're clearing your history, right, Chris?
Yep. Chris now has, and it doesn't matter. You can't get away from, if you interact with any of the platforms, there's no getting away from it.
All those things. How did that get here? I don't know. That's so funny. Don't look at her. Over here, please. Eyes on me, please, people. I only look at home improvement things and new tools.
Yeah. So obviously, you would get served a lot of home improvement tool ads and so forth.
Alan.
So Facebook looks at it and goes, okay,
code.
Chris has these interests. We're going to put him in this pot. But really, you'll be put in several pots. And then I come along and I'm like, I want to find people that are interested in drill sets. That's how I'm going to target Chris, right? And it will be drill sets, this area, this zip code. It might be other things for kids. If we're looking for young kids, we're going to look for parents that have searched for or interacted with anything of that might, that might be diapers, it might be Johnson and Johnson, it might be, all those kind of things that only a parent or somebody that is very, very involved with the day-to-day management of a young child would want, and that allows us to really target it on that. And the funny thing is the journey with Chris from Gemini Gymnastics is kind of across all of the different niches and everything that we had. When we started, we built her a website, right? And the funny thing is we got her as a client through me sending a letter in the mail to her. So I sent a letter in the mail to 100 gyms in Illinois because my wife's from Illinois and she's a gymnastics coach. So there you go. I sent a handwritten letter to 100 gyms. She was the only one that replied, and we built her a website. Then it was like, oh, we've got her website, and think about it for any kind of business. This is the journey of our company. We got them a website. It's really good. Let's figure out how to get more customers to that website. And then we got good at the Facebook and Google and all of that, and driving more traffic. Now that there's all these people coming to the website and we can see it, how do we get them to reach out to the gym? So then we started building out systems for the traffic to actually start communicating with the gym, right? Then we were like, okay, how do we, because to begin with, it was like a very specific thing that we would ask, which was fill out this form, right? Then we figured out that while parents and customers, they like to communicate in different ways, right? Chris, you might want to reach out via phone. I might want to text. Someone else might want to email. Someone else might want to walk in, right? That's how they're more comfortable. Other people, a lot of parents, a lot of mums, especially if you're going after the female audience, might be much more comfortable messaging you on Facebook or Instagram because they don't have to give you any information. It's kind of somewhat shielded by Meta.
Great. Yeah, and they're allowed to do their life while they're trying to talk with you at the same time because just like all of us, they multitask.
Exactly. So allowing your audience to reach to you the way they feel most comfortable rather than forcing them to reach out to you in a way that you're comfortable will allow you to get a lot more inquiries because some people will never fill out a form because they don't want to give you any information and you'll lose them as a possible customer. Then when we did that and we figured that out, our clients had the problem of, well, we've got all these channels to manage. We've got to be answering the phone, text messaging on Instagram, looking at our emails, all of the stuff. It's quite a lot for a small business, especially if it's a solopreneur or whatever. It's a lot to try to manage. So we developed what we have now, and you can see that thing there is Kai, which is the customer AI. And that whole system we developed that to manage those incoming inquiries through text and email and Messenger and all the different systems.
I've been watching that thing above your head rolling around again on YouTube. If you go check us out, Small Business Safari, we're on YouTube too. When you check this out, Andy Seeley's episode, if you want to go out there and take a look at it, he's got this Kai thing rolling across his screen up there. And I was going to ask him after. I'm like, how the hell did he do that? Because I want to do that too.
I thought it was just a little thing hanging from a ceiling.
No, it
is hanging from the ceiling.
So it's not on the video?
No, it's on my wall.
Holy crap. All right. What is Kai?
Customer AI.
I know. That's what what is it? I know it's customer AI. What's it do?
So basically,
now we're getting the real Chris out.
Let's say you're a home handyman, Chris. And you're
let's just hypothetically say for a minute I might be a home handyman. All right.
Let's just say so, and let's say you engage with us and you say, okay, I want more inquiries, steady inquiries, because I want to start being on the expensive end, not the cheaper end. The cheap end usually is because you don't know where your next customer is coming from, and it's a race to the bottom because it's going to be about quoting, and you just want any job you can, so you're prepared to do whatever it takes to get that job, right? That's on the low end where I want our customers to go away from. I want you to be on the selective end, on the end where you're the most expensive guy, and we want to build value, and we want people to go, I could go and spend money with Andy. He's going to charge $50 an hour to get this job done, and it might get done well, or I can do it with Chris and he's going to charge $200 an hour, but it's going to be great work and it's going to be done really, really well. Right.
I like you, Andy. I like you already.
That's where we want.
I wish we could.
Maybe you should just tell Andy that you run a gym.
I know.
that happens to do handyman work.
Right. That wants to charge
might be able to help
$200
you.
an hour. But okay, so talk to us about Kai. Yep.
So when all those those customers start coming through and start reaching out to you, what Kai is, we set it up and we connect it to all your systems. So we connect it to your text, your phone number for the texts that are going to come in. We connect it to Facebook. We connect it to Instagram. We connect it to your email. We put a chat widget on your website, so anybody that goes to the website can actually communicate with you. It then communicates with our AI. And the AI will have a regular conversation with the client, and the client could even. We've actually had some clients have very emotional conversations with this AI, and this AI will actually have a proper full-on conversation, similar to if you go on ChatGPT and have a conversation with ChatGPT, it feels very lifelike. It's a conversational AI. And what it will do will talk to the client, find out what they want, what their issue is. It will schedule an appointment. It will try always to schedule an appointment because that's what we are trying to do with our clients. They want appointments booked. For you, it would probably be scheduling a quote or a visit to go around to see what needs to be done.
100%.
And it will schedule it in on Google, and it will do it conversationally. So it won't say, "Hey, click this link and put in your information." It will say, "Hey, Chris, what is your? Can you spell your last name for me?" So I've got it. And spell. Okay, thanks. What is your phone number? Okay, what's your email address? Great. Hey,
this is all verbal. This is not. This is on the phone, or this is all text. I got you. Okay.
There's a verbal one coming along that we see that might be working, but right now verbal, like on a call, is not working so well. Mainly because technology is not. The problem with that. Just to jump around a little bit, the problem with verbal right now, and I recommend everybody stay away from it probably for at least a year, is the conduits between you and the system that's talking to you is not fast enough to be like me and you. I say something and you respond like that. The AI takes 3-4 seconds to do it, and it feels a bit uncanny valley, and it feels a bit weird. So
Kai is something you guys have developed that you implement for your clients.
Correct. So
beautiful.
So it will have a text conversation through text on all those other platforms. It will have a conversation, set up the time. It will say things like, "Hey, we got an opening on Tuesday at 1:00 or Wednesday at 3. What works better for you?" Great, blah, blah, blah. And you can actually train it to talk however way you want it to talk to your customers. And it will act like a receptionist taking in inquiries and getting things booked.
Are you open about the fact that it's AI, or is it good enough to where you can pretend like it's a real person?
We don't recommend that you pretend it's a real person. We do have one. We had one client that wanted to change its name to Julie. as a client in California changed its name to Julie, and it was another kids activity center, and it was talking to a grandma, and the grandma started sending photos of her grandkids to the AI, and the AI started responding saying how wonderful, this is lovely, blah blah blah, and then the AI ultimately booked the grandma's grandkids into a trial class, and the grandma ended it saying, "Hey, I'm really, really excited to meet with you. It's been a lovely conversation. Thank you very much." And the AI responded with, "Hey, I'd love to meet with you. It'll be one of the staff that will be, though, because I'm not actually real. I am an AI."
Oh, that's hilarious.
And the grandma was like, "What? That's crazy. Hey, this has been a great experience. I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes from this." So I actually think if somebody asks, "Is this an AI?" I think my recommendation is to have the AI say yes. I say, "Hey, I'm a client AI. I'm here to help."
I think that's great advice as well. Another great gold nugget is that if asked, your AI has got to respond with, "Yes, I am an AI."
Yeah.
I think most people will deal and be okay with it, especially as it continues to evolve. Andy, I know we're kind of coming up against it. How does everybody find you to find out more about what you can creatively disrupt in their own business and their own marketing plans?
Probably the best way is to just just go to creativelydisruptive.com. Even if you're not a gymnastics gym owner, you'll see a lot of kids activity center stuff on that site. You could go to highllevelthinkers.com, which is much more kind of along your lines, Chris. That would be where our handymen and our home services companies
How about that, Alan? I just got higher level thinking. In that category. I knew it was coming.
Like, Andy, really, you fed the beast. God damn.
High level.
Probably one of my favorite guests right here. Andy, appreciate it.
thinkers.com. Go there, but the main site is Creatively Disruptive, and you go in there and just reach out to us through there. You could actually talk to our AI, and it's probably going to try to get you to do some advertising done with your handyman gymnastics gym that you have, Chris. But
right,
just reach out to us through Creatively Disruptive or High Level Thinkers. And the other, if you're trying to start a ecom brand, and we're one of the few ecom agencies that will work with someone who's starting out, because it's really hard yards with startups. But if you're a startup ecom brand, you go to our other brand, which is Ashworth Strategy. So ashworthstrategy.com.
beautiful.
So that's probably the best way to go. If I could give you all sorts of other things, but that's the easiest way to go about it. Creatively Disruptive, High Level Thinkers, and ashworthstrategy.com.
There it is. We'll put those all in the show notes. That way you guys can go check this thing out. Maybe have a little chat with Kai, the AI guy. All right, let's go rapid fire because we're coming up against the end. We're going to rapid fire final 4 questions. You ready, Alan?
I'm ready.
All right, Andy, what's a book that you'd recommend to the adventure team for the small business safari?
It's one of the books behind, where is it? Unreasonable Hospitality. Have you heard of that?
I have. Unreasonable Hospitality. Great book. Big fan of his restaurant. Trying to get him on the podcast, but he's big. He's a big deal now.
He's a big deal.
Yeah, he is. He's got great stuff.
What you could do is go and get a shake. Go and get a shake and a burger from his joint.
Yeah, I could go there, or I can go get the hot dog at his high-end place. Or now they're vegan, but great book. Unreasonable Hospitality.
Makes my head hurt. High-end vegan hot dog.
No hot dogs there. No.
I'm just gonna say that the reason why I really like that is it's the beginning of building true value and charging what you're worth. And you need to not be having a race to the bottom on what you're charging your clients. You need to be getting yourself in a situation where you're of high value and you charge what you're worth, right?
100%. And I think the race to the bottom is another great phrase for a lot of us when you talk about, especially in my business, the net's just going to be a low net. This is not an easy net business. No. You got to be watching it, and you got to watch the top line. And when somebody says you're too expensive, you didn't prove the value. Like Unreasonable Hospitality will teach you how to do it. That's a great one. All right, next one. What is the favorite feature of your home?
My backyard.
Why?
It's got a nice big huge pool in it. It's got a nice pergola. It's got an outdoor kitchen and TV.
Don't let that voice fool you. He's in Phoenix, Arizona, everybody. So he's loving life down there. Love that.
That doesn't sound like an Arizona accent.
That must be. Is that Southern Arizona?
I think. This is a Southern accent.
All right. We've talked about customer service and the way you're doing it, and it's all changing right now. But Alan and I are kind of customer service freaks. What's a customer service pet peeve of yours when you're out and you're the customer?
I'm putting it into words because I'm trying to find nice words to use. So
I like the fact he hates it this much.
Yeah, I'm like, I wanted to say something. I was like, I probably shouldn't say that. So basically, if you're not listening to me as a customer, I'm going to get angry with you, right? If you're cutting me off, if you're not listening to what my interest is in doing business with you, just listen. Like as a business owner, listen to your customer. If you think they're full of it and you don't really want to hear it, just pretend you're listening, right? But listen, don't cut them off, especially if there's a problem. Listen to them. Let them talk it out. Let them get it off their chest. Listen. As a customer, especially when I've got something wrong, if you're cutting me off and trying to solve my problem before I finish telling you what the problem is, I'm going to get annoyed.
Yeah, empathetic listening, I think, is a great trait. We talk about that in my business a lot, especially when people call in and there's a problem. You got to be an empathetic listener, and then eventually you be able to get to solving their problem and why they called. So that's a great one. I didn't cut him off, by the way, even though we're
I was really proud of you.
He looked like he wanted to.
I wanted to. I was going,
he wasn't hearing a word you said. Andy.
No, I would blah blah blah.
Yeah. Hey, when's Andy going to be done talking so I can talk?
I jumped in, empathetic listening. All right. So,
do you know what empathetic means?
Shut up.
Let's go to the
back to me, please. Please, it's all about me, Alan. Please, for the love. All right, what's a DIY nightmare story? I do handyman stuff, and I love the fact that I have absolutely almost chopped my fingers off. Actually, mostly shot them up. with the nail gun, but that's
You know, if I'm honest with you, I haven't had many DIY issues. I did, do it yourself stuff. I tend to hire other people in because I want it done right, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do it right on my home. If I see, my brain works that if that picture is like this, it's going to drive me insane till it's straight. And I'm a guy that will go into someone else's house and straighten a picture sometimes if it's like,
oh, you're that guy.
Yeah.
So
or I'll just look at it. I'll just look at it and I'll be like, I can't straighten that thing. It'll be too much. I don't know them.
I can't talk to you until that's level.
All right, Andy, pet peeve. Yes or no? Do you need to have the toilet paper coming over or under?
Over.
It's over.
It's 100% over.
Always over.
Who's dumb enough to have it under?
Oh my God! Have you switched?
Most restaurants that I go to have it under. It like drives me insane.
Yeah. See, we're all over. We are over it, everybody. And this has been a great episode. Andy Seeley, CEO, Creatively Disruptive. Go check out that guy because he's been flapping at me the entire time.
He answered such a big question today, though.
That was
how you pick the right marketing agency, because they're all going to tell you the right things. But what I heard was, you call him because, hey, I need more leads. But he's going back and he's like, what's your website look like? What's your branding look like? And then once we get you the leads, how are you going to process them? Right. I mean, that's just a full service thing right there.
I love it.
Me too.
You're right. Guys, if you didn't learn something, that's on you because, man, we got some great stuff out today. You know what? 50% of your branding and marketing is going to work and 50% ain't.
Which one?
You don't know. Yeah. That's why you got to call Andy and go get it figured out. Go make it a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Cheers, everybody.
See you.